Well, greetings, and I hope that you are well. I am just so thrilled to be here today with you, and I want to thank you for joining me. I'm Linda Bryant with Elevate Leadership Consulting. And again, welcome if you are new. And if this is not your first time with me, I am welcoming you back to the huddle. Did you know that seeking out a good coach will support you in gaining clarity, focus, and accountability around your goals and your plans moving forward in life? Whether it be something new or after situations have taken place and you need a change in your life, in your career, or maybe even your work in your community. As a leadership and transition strategist, I provide coaching and trainings that empower individuals who are natural born leaders to overcome life situations with a positive mindset and transition from managing people and things to successfully leading with confidence, whether it be in life, in a new or existing career, or maybe your work in community. What I believe is that there is no single person that knows everything about everything. There's just no way. But there are plenty of things that you do that you currently have knowledge, you have skills, and you have experiences around that may be those memories of how you used to do something, or you have an experience that you may have had that left a positive or a negative impact on who you are, or maybe that impact has gotten in the way of the person that you want to be. I found that in my experience that there are times when you just need to figure out a way to get over or around hurdles or situations in your life or something. Maybe it's lying like right across your pathway. We don't always take the right direction sometimes. And when we are in a hurry, sometimes it takes us a little bit longer than usual to get to where we want to be. So if you're looking to find a way to invest in yourself, looking for someone to support you as you figure things out, someone who will bring out the best in you by engaging and helping you to engage in your inner thoughts, tapping into your strengths, your talents, whatever it is that will support you to get you achieve your goals and dreams. Well, maybe a coach is for you. So today, what I will be talking about is the benefits of coaching and how an investment in a coach can support you. What I'll be doing is sharing with you some tips and strategies of investing in a coach that I feel are important based on my own personal experiences, in hopes that you too see how coaching can be of value and can also support you. Take a moment, grab something to drink, a sheet of paper, and make sure you have something to write with, because you may want to take a few notes down, because some of these things you might want to think about if you choose to implement tomorrow. Now, very early in life, like around age 14, and I'm talking about my life, you guys, when I first started volunteering, I really began to think about what it was I wanted to do with my life. I knew back then that I wanted to graduate from high school. I wanted to go on to college. I wanted to have a successful career, but I wasn't exactly sure back then how I was gonna go about doing all of these things that I wanted to do. I was the first to do a lot of things in my family. And when you find yourself in that place of firsts, oftentimes there's not someone that's ahead of you that you can go to seek support, to ask questions, to get guidance. So I don't know, about you, but what I knew was that I had to figure out a way to get to where I'm going. And sometimes that happened or would happen on my own. So yes, like many of you, I had a lot of fits and false starts with things, like college after high school, odd jobs that I didn't like. Um, Sometimes all these things that I was doing was at a cost of not just time, but also my financial resources. And then sometimes it also, impacted my self-esteem, my lack of belief in myself, that would I ever be able to accomplish all these things that I had dreams, goals, and visions of doing. And I wanted to achieve so desperately, you guys. So I too made some poor choices in my life. And this left me feeling frustrated at times and sometimes disempowered. And I would find myself unhappy, which happens when a person has a vision, and you find yourself in a situation where things are not crystal clear, and you don't understand the importance of purpose, and that people, that you can also have someone or find someone that can lead or give you guidance with a roadmap that sets you out in the right direction. Which sometimes when when you have goals and you have a vision, there are many ways to get there. But remember, life is a journey, and sometimes we take many pathways to get from point A to point B. And sometimes along the way, we bump our head and we learn some new things as well. But there becomes a point in your life where you get tired of bumping your head. You get tired of being sidetracked. And that's why it's important for me to share with you the importance of having a coach. Now, what I found is that it is so much more easier to sit and think about details or plans of like how I can plan my own funeral. Easy to do that, right? But how much more easier would it be if you just took the time to think about the best way to plan out how you want to live the rest of your life? How you want your life to turn out? What is your goals, visions, and dreams? Because from this point forward, you are in charge of creating this next chapter of your life. I believe that when we change our language and how we envision ourselves living, we change our mindset about who we are, how we want to live, and how we want to live our lives to the fullest. So here are some benefits of coaching that I have found helpful, and that maybe also you will find helpful, and something that will support you in writing and living out the next chapter of your life. So before we get started, you should know that there are many, many famous people, successful people that hire coaches that support them in reaching their highest potential. There are coaches literally for everything. Whether you want to coach for a business, you want to coach a sports coach, you want to coach to help you get better with finances, literally, you can find someone to coach you in something. But the number one reason that you should seek the support of a coach, and it doesn't matter on what the topic is or what the genre or the arena is, it is to help you to bring to the surface those natural gifts that you have, the strengths that you possess, and those abilities that are there to support you in achieving and living your life out to your highest vision, living your life out to achieve at your highest goals, live your life to have the highest aspirations, anything that supports you in living a life in peace that brings you joy, that also brings you happiness. I found the support of a coach who empowered me to take responsibility for my education, and someone that would help keep me accountable for achieving my goals. And I had started out fresh out of high school or college, and not clearly understanding what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be, what I wanted to achieve. I was so tired of starting and stopping things. Like I left high school and went to the University of Minnesota, didn't like that. I thought I wanted to be a lab technician, didn't like that. I thought that maybe I surely wanted to be a nurse, and found myself not liking that after an internship. I was so tired, you guys, of starting and stopping things. And just think about all the money and all the time that I wasted, in the meantime. Now, granted, even during those times, I met new people, new friends. I learned some new things. But after 4 years, and this is why I wanted to go to college, of starting and stopping all these educational shiny red balls that I was chasing, I ultimately didn't achieve my goal. I had very little to show for it. And the number one thing was for me to obtain my piece of paper or a degree. And I had not done either. So I came across a person named Liz, and Liz was had already finished college, and she was starting early on in doing an internship for social work because she was a master's in social work. And where I was working, I shared one day my frustrations with her about how my life was going in terms of school and college, and how I started things and stopped things and didn't know what I want to do. And with her, I also shared with her what I felt was getting in the way of me landing on anything that I would be happy with in terms of going to college or going to school and then finishing something, because I had started so many things and also stopped. But you know what? What she did was she helped me identify that I knew this too. I was no longer in high school, and I really needed to take some responsibility for my life. I didn't have my mom telling me what to do. I didn't have people giving me guidance because I'd already finished high school. And I needed to really get some help with figuring out how to be accountable. Because although I was in roles and responsibilities really early on where I held other people accountable, I didn't do a very good job of that with myself. So, I thought I was responsible. I thought I was the most accountable person, but I was not really doing very well when it came to my own life and what I lacked back then, because I was not very disciplined. I didn't have a disciplined approach to what it was that I wanted to do and I wanted to achieve. So, for example, instead of just going to school for the sake of telling people that I was in school, I needed to have more focus. I needed to walk the talk. So what my mentor and my coach, Liz, did for me is that during that year, she really helped me to find deep within myself what it was that I really wanted to do. Not just for a career, but what really gave and brought me joy in my life. And I think I knew what that was because I was already doing it. I wanted to help people. She helped me to identify what my vision of what my life could be like if I were to live it out through my goals. She also helped me to understand how to set and plan goals and make commitments to, a process that if I were to just take things one step at a time, that I would achieve those goals that I was setting out to do. Now, I would say that the first benefit of a coach would be to have someone in your corner that would support you in establishing goals that would help you to stay on track. Because I was notorious for getting off track and getting sidetracked, whether it be a new job that paid more or some more money, or, I wanted to start something new that I thought was fun and looked fun and could fit for me because I was seeing someone else do it. Not necessarily does that help keep you on track. Sometimes that type of thinking, that type of mindset takes you off track. I know as a leader that it would be standard practice. You know what? And I'm just going to share this with you, that I would always tell my staff, and people that I would coach, that if you don't have a plan for yourself, someone or something will have a plan for you. And it won't be whatever it is that will get you from your point A to your point B. And this is what goal setting does. It gets you to where you want to be. It supports you in developing your own plan. It also helps you to achieve the things that you dream and you desire and you set out to do for yourself. Yes, a good coach can support you in ensuring that when you're thinking about and developing your goals, that they are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and that, they're time specific. And yes, I'm using the SMART goals acronym, people, because yes, it works. I've used it for many years and I've taught other people how to use it. Now, sometimes even with goals, we get off track and we start heading in one direction, right? And when I mean get off track, we're heading in one direction. In some type of way, we start to veer off track. But the unique things about goals is that once you establish them and you do get off track, when you get back on track, you can move in that same direction because you know where you want to go, right? So it's easier to find yourself getting back on path, back on track when you veer down a different fork in the road that maybe you weren't ready for, or you just weren't aware that you were heading that way. In some kind of way, you got off track. But a goal helps you get back on focus and start moving in the direction that you intend to go in. Now, the unexpected does happen, and sometimes you do veer off the path headed in a direction that maybe you didn't intend to go. This happens to people. It happens all the time. I don't consider those mistakes. They're just things that happen because we're human. So we may miss sometimes our blind spots, or those things that come up that maybe you didn't expect or you didn't plan for. So I used to remember taking road trips with my grandma, and I was always a designated driver. And sometimes back then, when I would do the trips with her, we had to read a map. We didn't have GPS. And MapQuest eventually came along. You could print out the directions. But early on, I found myself lost, taking a wrong turn someplace. But one of those things about wrong turns when you're headed for a destination, you see things and experience things that you probably would not have experienced or seen had you not have taken that wrong turn. I want to say that because sometimes we beat ourselves up when we get sidetracked and take a wrong turn when we're headed in a specific direction of a goal. And let's not do that. Let's not do that anymore. Let's change our mindset and see those distractions, those forks in the road, as opportunities for us to see things from a different perspective, to learn things from a different perspective. So in my life, as I was going through college and trying to achieve my degree, one of the things that set me back was during that 5-year span when I decided to get my education together and follow my dreams and follow my goals, is that I had a child. And during that time, I learned so much. I learned to be a parent. I learned to be a good parent. I even learned a whole lot about myself through that journey. But once I was ready and I got back on my feet, I started heading back towards that goal. And eventually I did receive my bachelor's degree in psychology, but it just took a little time. And I don't regret all the new things that I learned along the way. Now, I didn't intend for that to happen, but it did. And I had to adjust my plans, and my dreams and my goals didn't plan out in the timely way that I wanted it to. No, I could not go to school full time, but I did, I didn't stop going either. I put a plan in place where I would take one course a semester until my child got older. and I could excel in Excel. I could speed up how many classes I would take. And eventually I did get my degree. So you'll come across many unexpected situations that maybe others will, at least maybe they'll think about, but maybe you have not thought about, even entertain them yet as an idea. And so I bring that up because having a coach in your corner, sometimes asking you and preparing you for those what if situations that could happen, prepares you for thinking about like a possible backup plan, that you may need to put in place as you're moving forward. And I put in place my backup plan. No, I didn't expect to have a child, but my backup plan was to finish school at some point, but it was not to quit. So a coach, and a benefit of a coach is a coach can support you in being very proactive rather than reactive to life and career situations that can have or take hold of and create different situations as you're going through this journey. And no one is perfect. And we also learn from our mistakes or from the journeys that we take, well, when we find ourselves lost or off any intended path, right? And so I really like the fact that a coach can be this person for you who is also non-judgmental and can provide you with like honest feedback. They're not there to judge you. They're just to give you that honest feedback because they have nothing to gain or lose from giving it to you. Well, you probably are saying that I have plenty of people in my life that can give me honest feedback. I have family members that I am close with that I can confide in. I have friends that I have kept, that those friends have some of my best and worst kept secrets. But those individuals are much more different than a coach. Although these people may know you and you may know them very well, inside and out, but are they the right people that will push you to the limits to what it is you can achieve? Can they be that one individual that can share things with you and not feel that they're hurting your feelings just by giving you constructive feedback? They don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to hurt your feelings with something that they may say. And a coach is going to be upfront and honest with you. Are these individuals that you're talking about, can they visually see and believe in your goal and your dreams that you are setting out to achieve for yourself? And lastly, do these individuals, do they have the skills? Do they have the knowledge? And do they have all the experiences that may be able to help you to overcome any limitations that are getting in the way or that could get in the way of your success? Maybe not, but you can't blame anybody for trying to help you, right? The benefits of investing in a coach, you guys, is that you have someone that is there for you, that is in your corner, that can help you to overcome any limitations that may be perceived in your mind or maybe in actuality that is getting in the way of your success. Okay. The job and benefit of a great coach is to ask you those empowering questions that allow you to look deeper within yourself, almost like peeling back the layers of an onion that will help you and keep you focused and your eyes on the prize of what you're trying to achieve. Now, the benefits of investing in a coach is that you have someone that is dedicated just to you and is in your corner that can help you, to help you get over, to help you overcome things that may be perceived and getting in the way of your own personal success, whether it be in life because a situation came up and maybe you have to change direction. What about in a career that you may have or you may be in now, that you may have climbed the ladder and you are wanting to become the best leader that you want to be. Or maybe in your community, maybe you have joined a board or you're on a committee and you've never done that before, but you don't have the financial resources, but you definitely have the time. A coach is someone that can help you overcome and establish those things to help you be successful as you are on this journey called life. Now, the job of a great coach is to also ask you those empowering questions, right? To look deeper, to keep you focused on what it is you're intending to do. Now, lastly, the benefits of a coach can support you in leaving behind some old habits and helping you to create new ones. Because sometimes what gets in the way of your success or failure is your habits, whether they are good or whether they are bad. We all have habits that definitely correlate to our success, best practices that we create because of those habits. And then there are some of those habits that are is a direct connection to those things that we struggle with to overcome, that keeps us from achieving what it is that we're trying to do. So a coach can support you in identifying what those habits are, and in some situations, call them out if that's the expectation you have of your coach, that you may not even notice that you have. Because sometimes when you don't even notice that this is a habit, it could either be a source of strength and it can also be one of your areas of weakness. So with any habit, it will be the one thing that could hold you back, or it could be something that gives you continuous momentum to move forward. But what is important to remember is that a good coach benefits you when they can help you establish those good habits. So again, a coach, I just want to reiterate this now, a coach is can be a person that becomes part of your life that does two things. And these are two expectations that I have of any coach that I invest in for different areas of my life. And I always have. Is the number one thing is to make sure that I am being steered in the direction that I have chosen to go in. Because sometimes you go and you move into directions that maybe without a coach, you wouldn't even have thought was possible. And this is where a coach can be very, very helpful, because they challenge you, they push you, they take you to places that maybe you didn't even know existed within yourself, within your mind, within your abilities. And then I would say the second thing that a coach and the benefit of a coach would do is encourage you to do things that you may not have done on your own, that get you closer to accomplishing your goals. So you may have been trying or wanting to do something for a very long time. For example, for myself, I wanted to start my own business for the last 15 years and never done it, and didn't do it until I found myself a coach. And a coach helped me to achieve that dream that I always wanted to have for myself, because I was spending so much time helping others achieve the dreams that they wanted for themselves. So accomplishing my goals and you accomplishing your goals is something that a good coach sets out to achieve. Now, as humans, we have a tendency to see the world differently. We all have our own different perspectives, right? The things in our lives we can view it as a glass half full or glass half empty, right? But oftentimes it's our confidence or the lack thereof that gets in the way of having a positive mindset and using positive language that gets in the way of what we're trying to do. And so a good coach, a coach that helps you get past that helps you overcome those things that are getting in the way of your own success, you will find very beneficial and very helpful, because this person is going to work with you no matter how long, well, as long as you have them working with you to help you achieve the goals that you want to accomplish, whether it's taken you a long time than anticipated to get there, right? Lastly, I would say at the heart of the work of a great coach is that this person is there to empower you, to help build your confidence, to elevate your self-esteem. And this person also supports you in overcoming those obstacles that are getting in the way of your success. So if you find benefit in establishing clear goals, and you want to be prepared for the unexpected, and you want to overcome some habits that maybe you need to get rid of and replace with some positive habits or some different habits, then maybe a coach is for you right now. It's time for you to take responsibility in writing your next chapter, writing this next chapter of your life, and that you lead from a place where you feel at peace, that you feel joy, and where you are happiest in your life, maybe in your career or your new career or your working community. I hope that you find the information and some of the strategies and tips that I've given you today very helpful. A coach will help you down this path and journey that you will not have to walk alone. Take care, and I hope you took some great notes, and I look forward to seeing you again. And you know what? Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.